You're welcome back. It's mixed fates in Bauchi and Kano states in northern Nigeria as their respective governorship election tribunals delivered judgments today. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed of the People's Democratic Party had his election as governor upheld by the tribunal, while his counterpart in Kano State, Abba of the NNPP, was sacked as governor, with Nasir Gawuna of the All Progressives Congress declared the rightful winner of the Kano State governorship election by the tribunal. The judgment, which was delivered via Zoom, because the judges were not in the courtroom physically, has generated reactions across the country, and it comes on the back of the personal political battles currently faced by the party stalwart, that's the NNPP stalwarts, and its presidential candidate in 2023 elections, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, whose influence was deemed instrumental to Yusuf's emergence as the party's candidate and, of course, the governor after winning that election. Well, joining me tonight to discuss the situation in Kano, where it seems to be a political earthquake, I have Bashir Badru. He's a lawyer, and he joins us live from Kano itself. Barrister, thank you for your time and good evening.
Yes, the pleasure is mine. Good evening.
All right. It's mixed fates, for those two states, Kano and Bauchi State. But I want your immediate reaction to the unfolding events and the development as far as Kano State is concerned, with the governor being sacked outrightly, and the judges said the certificate of return should be taken away from him by INEC, and the new one should be issued to the candidate of the APC. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I must say at the beginning now that I am not sympathetic to either of the parties. I am sympathetic to justice. I am on the support of the court to do substantive justice. Now, I want to look at the decision of the tribunal to deliver this judgment virtually. It is also very significant for us to understand that life matters in this part of the world. If you remember, you will understand that there was a vehement threat, and we have not even heard that the man, a commissioner under the present government, the government that has just been sacked by the tribunal, we not heard that the same commissioner who issued that threat, other than being sacked from the government, has been arrested by any agency already. That is to tell us that the justices of this tribunal are also human, and they also listen to news. If threats of that magnitude to be issued against them, and some other people now are wagging tongues that why would they have delivered this judgment virtually? Do they now want to tell us what type of security apparatus has been put in place to guarantee the safety of life of these individuals who have families like every other person? I tell you, my support is for the tribunal. My support is for justice. Now, Abba is start. And he still has 2 steps to go. Come on. He can appeal, and I certainly know that he will appeal the judgment. One fundamental thing he should do to people he is governing over is to ensure that no place violence is allowed to trail this judgment. Because we've had, as citizens of Kano, we've seen pockets of assembly here and there trying to cause problems prior to this judgment delivery. So the government must be alert. The court saying that the declaration made by INEC was in error. It's also a lesson to INEC, because in Bauchi State, for instance, INEC's position has been strongly upheld. When tribunal said the governor in Bauchi State was badly indicted. In the case of Kano, something must have gone wrong. Something must have gone wrong. That justifies the decision of the tribunal to say we cannot come to a court and start delivering judgment and allow courts to come and invade the court premises and confirm them. I think this is very, very instructive to every person.
Quite interesting. If we look at what the Kano State governorship election petition tribunal is saying, the judgment, like you rightly said, that was read via Zoom. But before I go there, are you saying, Badru, that there was some sort of anticipation that there may be violence unleashed on these judges and the court, and that's why they gave their judgment already, a judgment via Zoom?
It is beyond anticipation. It is a direct confrontation. It is direct issuance of death threat on the justices of the tribunal. Death threat. Don't forget that one of the justices of this tribunal said that there were attempts to bribe them, which they have vehemently repeated. And I would, everybody from this government, you are the government, you are the one speaking at the end of appeal. Why will you be issuing threats at tribunal that if they go the way contrary to the position of your party, that heaven will be let loose? They knew that something is actually cooking because they have done it very wrongly from the beginning. Bribing may be annexed to that declaration, but these people cannot be quiet. They say no, we cannot deliver justice and not sentiment, not judgment of emotions. If they have any queries, they are still up there instead of being a Supreme Court.
Okay.
So there are clear indication of threat. In fact, there are announcements from others when this was when the judgment of the day was notice of this year was given, maybe a day or 2 days earlier. Every citizen of Kano who got wind of this announcement had to sit at home because he don't know what will happen. And you stand the wisdom of the tribunal not to hold the person physically. Because never will have been left loose.
All right.
I know the volatility of this environment and I know what can happen.
All right, interesting, Bashir. The court, comprising of a 3-member panel of judges, they did addition and they did subtraction. It was just an equation. They deducted 165,663 votes from Governor Yusuf as invalid. I think he scored a total of 1.019 million, while Nasir Gawuna scored 890,705 votes. Margin of 128,897. That was the difference or the gap.
So when you got the three,
yeah.
Now this.
Yes. So this 165,663 votes were deducted from Governor Yusuf, and it was declared as invalid by the three-judge panel due to what they say was unstamped or unsigned ballot papers. Can you explain from your vantage point as a lawyer who is not aligned to any of the parties, what led to these invalidated votes? Whether the NNPP, what do you think about that? Yeah.
Okay. This is simple. If you look at Osun's election, the same thing was done, deducting invalid votes from the votes the person declared as winner. This is necessary, especially when you take into cognizance the use of beavers. Biometric verification. So that machine, if you look at how many people were accredited to vote, and how many people for that unit that environment, okay, this is the number of accredited voters, and this is the number especially was recorded as people who validly voted. If you now subtract the accredited voters, yes, beavers, then you eliminate the extra out, and it is what the other party will have needed. Okay, this is number of accredited voters, and this is number that was given to the winner, and this is number that was given to us. If you add the two numbers, then it has exceeded number of accredited voters. If this happens, then you have to deduct, especially think both these statements were actually pleaded in court. So when you see all this that this was erroneously added to this person, and that was why it was declared winning, then the court will do the court will certainly do the and when the elections are made, you only say to who has the highest vote. And that's exactly why Gawuna was declared the winner.
Quite interesting that this has is a simple mathematics. Before I go to the next question, how do you think this relates with what we've seen play out at the presidential election petition court? Because we've heard that the parties, opposition parties, were told by the judges there at the Court of Appeal, you must prove the infractions or irregularities that you're talking about polling unit by polling unit. Are you therefore saying that this is the case, or what's the case in this APC's petition in Kano State? And how do you think that dovetails into what we're seeing play out with the presidential election? Bashir?
Well, they are asking me to presume what may happen at the Supreme Court in the case of the presidential election petition. I said very categorically, I said it in social support that it is a Herculean task for any petitioner in a presidential election to successfully upturn the position of the sitting president. It's not too easy. Not too easy. And that's why the opposition parties have been shopping for a serious matter, like the matters relating to disqualification on grounds of certificate forgery, disqualification on grounds of APC. So you need to go directly to put transparent at the polling unit and prove all these. It will take years. And the Tribunal does not have that luxury of time to begin to listen to witnesses in that respect.
Quite interesting, Bashir Badru. What evidence, because of course, Yusuf, we all know, was initially declared winner. With what the court has said, invalidating 128,897 votes, what evidence or arguments can the NNPP bring forward in any appeal they may file, like you've advised them to support the victory of their candidate and to challenge this judgment in favor of the APC?
I would advise about you to consult to for I want to give advice. You see, what they need to establish before the court is all in law. If there is any. The judgment, I've not seen the judgment now. I have to, by tomorrow I know that the copy of the judgment will become available and we'll be to read and dissect. You have to read the judgment very carefully. You cannot, if you want to say the err on the side of evidence, that error, in fact, it will be too difficult for them to get anywhere. But you have to look at, the electoral, the Constitution, the Evidence Act, the regulations, and see if the justices of Tribunal have substantially not complied with the provisions of the law. Once this is established, then every sentence is there that the balance will be tilted towards their case. Otherwise, even if they get to Supreme Court, they have just 2 months to spend there. They'll still hand over to the right owner.
Wow, quite interesting, Bashir Badru. This is quite a technical one. That would mean that any lawyer who represents the NNPP will really earn his pay if he's able to pull this off. But I mean, for all of us in other parts of the country, we've looked at Kano State. We've seen that the Kwankwasia movement is really strong in Kano State. We've seen that, the number of scores of supporters that Rabi Umusa Kwankwaso and his political loyalists like Governor Yusuf how many supporters they've been able to gather in stadiums during the campaigns. So what's your view of what we see on the ground, the widespread popularity of the Kwankwasia movement and the widespread support they have versus the court now saying that they lost the election?
Yeah, you see, I have this view that the Kwankwasia movement has come to stay. It is a movement established a long time. It is a movement that has touched the lives of large citizens of Kano State. It's a movement that is largely subscribed to by people of Kano State. That said, that is not enough. When it comes to election, you have to do more than just mouthing. You have to ensure that you do sufficient campaign. And when you say campaign, orientation of your membership, you see, when there are abuses, which is what those things have led to the 166,000 votes did not fight, means that because they are on ground, they scared a lot of people away, people who are not subscribers to their movement were scared away. And because they have the population, their evidence of threat here and there, and this will not sustain their grief because the court has shown them that this is not the way to do it. Do it peacefully. The kind of vote that was gathered by NNPP during the presidential election was maintained without taking effort to go extra mile by manipulating votes. They would have won landslide, and the tribunal would have upheld their position. The position ended as the past winner of that election. But a lot of other things happened on the ground.
All right. Bashir, Badru remains to be seen where Rabbi Musa Kwankwaso goes from here. Is this the end of his political ambitions, with his party, attacking him from the left and losing this court case? Let's see what happens. But thank you very much for your time, Bashir Badru, legal practitioner, for joining us from Kano State. Right. Well, that's the size of our package. It's really heating up as far as Nigerian politics is concerned. But that's it for now. We'll be back tomorrow with more of the conversations you love to hear about Nigerian politics right here on News Central TV. My name is Kofi Bartels. Good night.